Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm helping you level up your communication skills. In this episode, we're entering the world of public speaking. So we can reframe the number one fear on the planet, public speaking, and learn how to conquer it in micro steps. Let's start off with an imaginative scenario. Imagine if I come up to you and I tell you, look, there's an alien that lives 365 miles away from planet Earth. It's a green alien with a purple antenna, and I need you to have faith that this alien exists. Even if you are one of those individuals who normally doesn't need too much evidence, in this situation, you may still require a little bit of evidence. You may be like, all right, man, I want to believe in your alien, but do you have any proof at all? Just a little bit. And I say, nah, man, I don't. I just need you to have faith that this alien exists. It's going to be extremely hard to have faith in this alien. But on the flip side, if I tell you, have faith that 2 + 2 = 4, in this situation, you'll be like, I don't need to have faith that 2 + 2 = 4. I ask you why. You say, because I know 2 + 2 = 4. I don't need faith because I know. Do you see the difference? This is an interesting insight in regards to public speaking as well. If you are one of those individuals that normally doesn't give too many speeches and someone is telling you, yo, have faith that you will do well, you may be in that situation where it's like the alien. Someone is telling you to have faith in something, even though you don't have much evidence. And add in speech anxiety, things are getting much, much bumpier. Our task is to turn this from a situation of faith to a situation of knowing. And how am I supposed to do that, bro? Because as you just said, I don't have that much experience in regards to public speaking. That's what we think. What we really have to do in order to change our mindset from faith into knowing is to evolve our definition of the word public speaking. This phrase, public speaking, imagine if I told you to envision what you think when I say public speaking. Close your eyes and take a little bit of time to envision that phrase. What are you seeing? For a lot of people, what they're seeing is something along these lines. They're seeing a guy probably with a mic. They're speaking in front of a crowd. Those two variables are most likely there in most people's pictures, a speaker and a crowd. But here's the thing. That is a limiting belief. That is an extremely stiff definition of the phrase public speaking. In reality, what we have to understand is that anytime that we are speaking outside of the comfort of our own house, or any time that we are speaking where another human is involved, it's technically public speaking. For us to evolve our understanding of what this phrase means, we have to view public speaking in a brand new light. If we just view it in terms of a big crowd and a speaker, then we're taking away a lot of layers of this phrase. In reality, anytime we are recording videos, anytime we are having a conversation in a social interaction, anytime we are catching up with someone that we haven't talked to in a very, very long time, it's a form of public speaking. When we gradually start to shift our view like this, when someone tells us, yo, you have to speak in front of 50 people for this event, we're not too rattled. We don't have to have faith too much because our newfound definition allows us to know that we can give talks. This is extremely important to understand because words always influence our perception. And throughout history, words have evolved. Did you know that a couple of decades ago, people would say, you have a nice stink to you. This was a compliment. A stink back then, the context that it was used in was in a positive sense. It meant that you had a nice aroma to you. Nowadays, if someone says, yo man, you got a nice stink to you, you're gonna be pretty offended. You're gonna be like, what's that supposed to mean? I just sprayed my nice cologne too. It's because throughout the decades, the word stink has evolved. Our goal to change public speaking, the number one fear in the world, speech anxiety, from a faith-based process into a knowing-based process, is to understand that public speaking is not a field that is completely disengaged from our lives. Rather, it's something that we're constantly participating with. Elon Musk is a good example of this, but replace public speaking with science. If I told you right now to envision a science, just close your eyes and picture what you think of when you see a scientist. For a lot of us who are not familiar with scientists or whatever they do, we're picturing a dude in a white lab coat playing with some test tubes and chemicals. While in reality, Elon Musk has fixed that notion. He's allowed us to understand that science is not something that is completely disengaged from the world. Science is something that can be involved in this world. How did he prove this? Well, he used science to build a stronger understanding of the natural world, and he used it to develop concepts as well. The whole car company Tesla, its main purpose is to better deal with the world around us. He used science to engage in engineering. What does engineering and technology really mean? It means applied science. So he invited science into this realm. But he didn't just turn science into a realm of engineering. He was also able to turn this whole concept of Tesla into a business. And this business was able to impact multiple people, and all because he included science into his world. Likewise, with public speaking, we gotta stop thinking that it's just a field that's completely disengaged from our daily lives. We gotta invite it in. Public speaking is a lot like your financial portfolio. If someone said, yo man, I spend my entire life savings and put it into one stock, everyone's gonna be like, bro, what are you doing, man? That's highly risky. Diversify just a little bit. Likewise, with public speaking, when I say that the only definition for public speaking out there is me speaking in front of a crowd, that's risky, man. Come on, diversify into the other parts of life where we are speaking in public. The more that we prime our mind to understand that we are constantly public speaking on a day-by-day basis, that's when someone tells us that we have to speak at their best man speech, whether it's for a conference, whether it's for a lecture, we're no longer getting as nervous. It's because we know we could give a speech. And the more that you know something, surprisingly, the more faith that you have. If someone told you, do you really know that 2 + 2 = 4? You say yes. And I say then, well, what about 1 + 3? Even though I switched up the numbers, since you know so well that 2 + 2 = 4, you will have the faith that you can solve 1 + 3 as well, because it follows the same formula of addition. And in a similar context, when you know that you can give public speeches while talking to a friend, while talking in a group, while talking in a work atmosphere, even if we switch up the context just a little bit, you'll still have faith and a better situation that, you know what, I can speak in front of my Toastmasters meeting and these larger scaled audiences. So the moral of today's talk is to change your definition of public speaking. Allow it to evolve. Just like a couple of decades ago, a stink was viewed in a positive light, and nowadays it's viewed in a negative light, we have to also evolve our definition of public speaking as well. And once we do, we'll see that a lot of people are fearing the boogeyman that never existed. Even though public speaking is the #1 fear in the world, it just needs a little bit of tweaks, a little bit of reframing to understand that it's a very, very enjoyable process. If you want more practical insights like this into the world of public speaking, be sure to check out The Speaking Wizard, which deals with how to build a speech, how to prepare a speech, and how to deliver it so your audience is truly captivated on your big speech day. To grab a copy, check out the link in the description box or the pinned comment right on below. And thank you for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel.